The heroic sacrifice, a dramatic, emotional story. The city burned under a blood-red sky. Elias, the leader of the resistance, limped through the rubble, his body battered from the relentless battle. The enemy, an army of mechanized soldiers known as the Iron Legion, had pushed them to their final stronghold. Only one escape route remained, the bridge leading to the safe zone. But the enemy was closing in fast. "We're out of time." Lena, his second-in-command, shouted as she helped a wounded child onto a rescue transport. Elias turned to Darian, his oldest friend. "If they cross that bridge, no one will survive." Darian swallowed hard. "Then we hold the line." Elias shook his head. "No. I hold the line. You get them out of here." Lena's eyes widened. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying someone has to stop them," Elias said, gripping his rifle. "And that someone is me." Lena grabbed his arm. "There has to be another way." Elias met her gaze, his voice steady. "If we don't stop them here, there won't be another way." Darian clenched his fists. "Then we fight together." Elias placed a hand on his friend's shoulder. "No, my friend. You have to live. The resistance needs you. The world needs you." Lena's voice cracked. "And what about us? What about me?" Elias softened. "You survive. You tell our story. You make sure this wasn't for nothing." Tears welled in Lena's eyes. "Elias, please." He stepped back, forcing a smile. "You always said I was too stubborn. This is me proving you right." With that, he turned and ran toward the bridge, leaving them behind. The Iron Legion advanced, their red eyes glowing through the smoke. Elias took cover behind a fallen transport, gripping his last grenade. "Just a little closer," he muttered. Bullets rained down, tearing through the concrete. His body screamed in pain, but he didn't stop. He fired back, taking down enemy after enemy. Then, a massive war mech stepped forward, the Executioner, the Iron Legion's most powerful weapon. "Well," Elias chuckled bitterly, "guess I get to go out with a bang." He sprinted toward the mech, dodging gunfire. His only chance was the explosives planted beneath the bridge. If he could detonate them manually, he could take out the entire enemy force, but there would be no escape. As Elias reached the detonator, his radio crackled. "Lena to Elias, don't do this." He hesitated for just a moment, hearing the desperation in her voice. "We found another way," she pleaded. "We can." "There's no time," Elias said softly. "This is the only way." "Lena," he continued, his voice calm, "you're the best leader we have. Protect them. Protect our future." Elias, I. He cut the radio before she could finish. Looking back one last time, he whispered, "Goodbye." The executioner aimed its cannon at the escaping survivors. Elias gritted his teeth. Not today. With his last ounce of strength, he slammed the detonator. A deafening explosion ripped through the bridge. Flames consumed the enemy forces as the structure collapsed into the abyss below. The shockwave sent Lena and Darian's transport tumbling forward, but they had made it. From the wreckage, Lena screamed his name. But Elias was gone. Days later, the resistance held a ceremony in Elias's honor. A statue was erected at the new safe zone, a monument to the man who had saved them all. Lena stood before it, her hands trembling. "You always were too stubborn," she whispered, placing a medal at the base. "But you were also the bravest man I ever knew." As she turned to leave, the wind carried a familiar voice, faint but unmistakable. "You survived. That's all that matters." A single tear fell down Lena's cheek. She straightened, looking ahead. "The world will remember you, Elias. I promise." And with that, she walked forward, toward the future he had sacrificed everything to protect.